All right, 7th grade, here is your math lesson for Friday, April the 10th. Lesson 146 and 147, the odds were due for today, Friday, and lesson 148 is due on Monday. So let's just go over a little bit what they're talking about on lesson 146. Similar polygons have the same shape. The corresponding angles are equal and corresponding parts in the proportion. So we're going to look at, we looked at this already with similar triangles with this corresponding angles. Corresponding means the same part of the similar angle. So number 1, look at number 1. A corresponds with T, B corresponds with U, and C corresponds with V. So for number 1, what they want you to do is name all the sets of corresponding sides. According to how they did it up there, you're supposed to put A over T, B over U, and C over V. So that's the answer for lesson 146, number 1. Any order it could be, but A over T. A is the same as the corresponding side as T. A over T, B over U, and C over V. This does not mean they're the same length, but they're corresponding sides in that it's the same side of the triangle, okay? Then you're supposed to, you can figure out if these are similar or not by making a proportion out of the numbers if they have lengths. So in number 3, write a proportion of corresponding sides and then write S or X. So you're supposed to use the numbers now. So for number 3, you would have 3 over 6 and 2 over 4. 3 over 6 and 2 over 4. If you cross multiply the proportions, you have 3 times 4 is 12, 2 times 6 is 12. That's similar. Okay, you know that 3/6 and 2/4 reduced are both 1/2, so that also makes it similar. On rectangles, you do the same thing. So on rectangles, look at number 2. For the answer of number 2, you would have R over N. R and N are corresponding, and S over O, okay? Then for number 4, you use the numbers. 8 over 13 equals 6 over 9. Does 8 over 13 equal 6 over 9? If you multiply that, 8 times 9 is 72. 6 times 13 is 78. So they would be X. They would be not similar. So that's what's going on there. Okay? And we'll try to review that a little more, but we're not going to talk more about that. The answer for number 17, lesson 146, number 17 is E3. Make sure you know how to read these grids on maps. The answer to number 19 is 750 miles. And the answer to 21, just another random one, increase 120 by 85%. If you increase 120 by 85%, your final number is 222. Turn to your paper, that is 147, lesson 147. This is time. Rode a left on a shopping trip at 3:10 p.m. and return 2 hours and 20 minutes later. You simply add 2 hours and 20 minutes to the 3:10. Okay, 10 plus 20 is 30. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5:30 p.m. And check it out if you're crossing over AM and PM and things like that. Check out what they do with that. See if you can figure that out. So then number 3. This goes back to lesson 146. Number 3, name all sets of corresponding sides. You should have in any order P over F, Q over G, and R over H. C, write a proportion of corresponding sides. If the numbers are there, write the numbers as your proportion. So number 5, you would have 9 over 12 and 6 over 8. 9 over 12 and 6 over 8. 9 times 8 is 72. 12 times 6 is 72. So they are similar. All right, look at the rectangles. You didn't have to do this, but if you check the rectangles out, do the same thing. So the rectangles will be 16 over 20 and 12 over 15. 16 over 20 and 12 over 15. 20 times 12 is 440. Is that right? 0, 4, no, stop, not 440. 0, 4, 240. And 16 times 15 is also 240, so those are also similar. All right, let's look at 148. 148 is due on Monday. So let's check it out. Investment amounts. Investment amount has to do with you borrow money, you pay interest. Your total investment is simply the amount you borrowed plus the interest that you paid. Okay, you pay the amount you borrowed. You borrow $25,000. Okay, you're going to pay $25,000, but you also are going to pay interest. So your investment is principal plus the amount of interest that you paid. Okay, so some of these problems you will have to, first of all, figure out the interest. Okay, use your formula to figure out interest and then add that to the principal for your total investment. Sometimes they'll say you borrowed $25,000, he paid $5,000 interest. What was his total investment? So there you're just going $25,000 plus $5,000 to get your total investment. So watch it carefully. If you have to get interest first, then do that. Let's do one. And here again is just showing you a little bit how foolish it is to borrow lots of money on a vehicle if you can't get it paid off soon. Okay, if you can get it paid off soon, it's a good place to borrow money just to get your credit up. Okay, you borrow it for this amount, but you get it paid off in a year, something like that. You know you have the money, so you just borrow it just to get credit. That's fine. But look at this problem here. Ben borrows $45,000 for a new pickup. He is paying 9% interest for 10 years. What is his total investment on the pickup? So first of all, what do we need to do? First of all, we need to find how much interest he paid, right? What's the amount of interest? And that is PRT, right? Principal times rate times time. So we have 45,000 times, what does 9% look like as a decimal point? 0.09 times 10. And that is how much interest you pay. So let's do it. What's 45,000 times 10? 45,000 times 10 will give you 450,000, right? So let's go 0.09 or 40, okay, let's just do this. 45 times 0.09. Solve that first of all. 45 times 0.09. 9 times 5 is 45. 4, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 2 places in the decimal. Don't forget the decimal. 2 places in the decimal, right? So 4.05. Multiply this by the 1,000, okay? So then you go 1, 2, 3. No, something's all right. I'm getting messed up now, sorry. Start over. I'm messing myself up somehow. 45,000 times 10 is what? equals, add another 0 there to give us 450,000. Right? Multiply that by 0.09. 450,000 times 0.09. All right? 0, 0, 0, 0. 9 times 5, 45. 4. 9 times 4, 36. 37, 38, 9, 40. 2 places in. You don't have to make this rows here. 2 places in. And that is how much interest you are paying. $40,500 is your interest. Okay? $40,500. That's interest. Total investment means that you need to add the 45,000 onto that yet. 0, 0, 5, 5, $85,000, $85,500. Let me make sure you can see all that. Is what you have just paid for a now 10-year-old vehicle. Okay, total investment. Total investment, $85,500. Interest plus principal. So if you have to figure out interest first, do that. But it's always interest plus principal is your total investment. Right? Find the interest, add it to your principal, total investment. Do I need to say it again? I didn't think so. Good day.